Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Togetherwerole.
Yay!
We behaved each other. We need a new mainframe for Nicholas Wine's brain. Kevin, please help.
We would like to thank Corinne Milne, JD Arts, RPG Elements, Okie Deer, and Julia O'Brien in no particular order, because that's just the order I seem to remember them sometimes. For the artwork that they provide to the channel. Support them. There are links below. They're wonderful people. If you think we are wonderful people, God help you, but you can support us. You can support us on Patreon.
Without further ado, last time we left our intrepid adventurers, the Silver Menagerie.
Put on a carnival.
Put on a carnival.
After a massacre. Sure. Let's call it that.
Visited old family members and persuaded them out of emotional turmoil / into emotional turmoil / accepting you that you are still a child within a case of iron and steel. You are a child within that has the body of a mechanized war machine.
Yeah.
AKA, you're a 10-year-old mental person in a
10 and a half.
10 and a half. Sorry, 10 and a half.
Vedic met the worst fears of his life. A dozen children all vying for his attention.
All crying for his attention.
All crying because of
It's making that noise again! All crying because of his attention.
All crying because of it.
Like we're in the midst of the carnival. There's kids running every which direction, and I'm like, Vedic, you did a good thing. And one of the kids comes up and hugs him, and his hand bursts into no. This is affection.
See, I was thinking the other one. I was thinking some other scenario in which case we're passing around a baby. So it's Vedic, protect the baby. You must be joking.
We're going to break to Todd, finishing up a charisma / performance check, your choice, of completing this union with the goblins, hobgoblins, and gnolls. And then you're going to do an investigation roll on why this relationship exists.
23 performance.
23. Honestly, they're signed up. It's death or signing up, and they're going to sign up. They don't really understand all of it, but they understand this.
We're still figuring out what dues mean, but
yeah, exactly. It's the reason for this union and what
they're like. I've heard that dues don't actually balance out with the benefits, and I'm like, okay, look, we're not going to get into the You've heard a lot,
goblin, right?
Do you mean by dues or dues? As in don'ts. There's dues and don'ts, or is it do's and...
Somehow Eck has stumbled in here.
Eck, you're not in the union.
You're not do-do's.
Ooh, do the do.
A phenomenon.
It's like Gallivant all over again.
And do an investigation roll to try to figure out why this team was...
Phenomenon.
What? Who's happening? What?
Make an investigation roll, please. This is trying to figure out, because...
Is this straight up?
Straight up.
Okay.
Because it's trying to figure out, based off the strenuous, conversation pieces of these goblins, hobgoblins, and gnolls, because King Gobble's dead. He had the most of a majority of the information, and a lot of the hobgoblins that you only have two of had a lot of the information.
Sure. I mean, I'm not super great at this. It's a flat roll, so 18.
18.
Yeah, I rolled great, but it's just
chaotic...
people are busy asking me questions, and I'm like, no, you're gonna have to go to HR.
So the first thing you tried to do is trying to ask questions to these guys. That was your first mistake.
Sure.
They are all about themselves and food, fucking, and defecating, and not in that order.
Is there anyone they can point me to?
Sometimes you can do more than one at the same time.
But then you look at their weapons. You notice their weapons are not of grade of stitching a bunch of stuff together. Their weapons are actually relatively maintained. And
we would have covered that during the benefits package because you do get an equipment upgrade.
Exactly. So that's when you get they were provided equipment.
Okay.
These are not now. They're still roughed up because they're not maintained well in terms of in the hands of the goblins and hobgoblins, but they were originally made by humans. Someone had a say in basically this union and most likely the area they're attacking. To what end? You can't get that information out of these assholes. They're fucking stupid.
Okay, can they point me to where they, like, the physical location on the map where the upgrade happened? Like, they were handed equipment.
Back at their camp.
Okay.
This is just the four, basically the main army of their folk.
Sure.
The rest of their, like, scouting squads are not with them. And they have, like, lighter equipment based off their experience.
So we just leveled the whole army.
Yeah. Not the whole thing, because there's a lot of baby
Mostly.
goblins and a lot of other goblins back at their nest, but, you know.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out one of my boards, because
Yeah.
I have a great many of them. So one for a gnoll and one for a hobgoblin. And we're all going... I have 5 of them in my bag.
This is going to be amazing.
And-
so you whip out 2 of these boards, the smaller boards, which you guys have, and you get one to
Like,
the
they're
goblin.
people size. They're
and,
not tot size.
For the goblin size, they need to be your sized. Because they're... Actually, no. Goblins are medium creatures.
Well,
Never mind.
It's a hobgoblin and a... Because
Yeah.
the hobgoblins are the leaders,
Yeah,
and the
hobgoblins-
gnolls had their own leadership.
Correct.
So I'm taking either of them. Those should both be medium.
Okay.
Which means standard size boards should be applicable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard goblin, not goblin.
No. I don't want to take an underling.
So come on.
They're getting
Put
cookies.
a goblin on
No.
a surfboard, please.
They're getting cookies and lemonade. It's the onboarding.
There you go. No, I'm just imagining the shenanigans of going in a forest with a surfboard with a goblin riding
Sure.
it.
Totally. But that's not what's
Goblin's gonna have a
happening.
great time.
So I'm taking these 2 and I'm gonna take them back to the encampment.
Okay.
And the goal is that they're going to be like, yo, everybody who wants to join up. Here's the literature. Here's what we figured out so far. While I go and investigate looking for any sort of missives or communication between the people who did the equipment upgrades and King Gabo, who is non-existent anymore.
Shattered. Okay, so I'm going to roll a persuasion / intimidation on the 2 followers that you have.
Sure.
Because...
I mean, I'm going to take whoever's most willing.
Exactly, but it's a bunch of goblins and hobgoblins and gnolls in one place, and they're like, why the fuck do we listen to you? Kind of situation. So the 2 people are going to roll intimidation / persuasion. No, it's going to be intimidation at this point. That's their style. The one, and then the other guy. Okay. So the gnoll, surprisingly, just kind of goes in his grunty language and is like, the gnolls pipe up like, food?
I mean, I'm the ultimate person to just
Food? And they look at you, because they see a
Like,
bunny person.
sure,
and they're not the
sure.
smartest people in here. And then the hobgoblin starts to speak and gives a horrific battle cry, punches a goblin to death, and rolls a natural 20 with intimidation and tells them, essentially, I'm boss now. You listen to her.
Cool.
And says,
These are friends.
yeah.
Not food.
and essentially holds up the skull of the King Gabo. Gabo's dead by her hands.
Sure.
Which is a complete lie, but...
Wildly.
It's not
It's
true.
not, but at the same time, it's
Like,
the point
he very
of...
much could have died on the ice fields,
Yeah,
falling from a great
he's
height.
just trying to make it so that, hierarchy
sure.
kind of situation. So,
But if any gnoll presents any sort of threatening predator, like, I do have a prey response in my brain
Oh, yeah, that-
of, like, recognizing that that's happening.
Yeah.
And I would then like to punch in the chest, like, with an unextended blade of the moonsword, just like punch in chest and then going past and then kicking off the blade.
so full
in-
Spectre mode and everything.
Yeah, like
Nice.
full intimidation of, here's just me hitting you, and here's what this can do.
That just adds to the natural 20 that I just rolled, so that is brilliant in terms of, we'll just take a null off, he's dead. Yeah,
So I'm
now
down
you,
one?
You're, no, not of your party, but
Okay,
of the,
okay.
like, encampment.
Cool.
So, and then you're trying to figure out additional information of why these guys are together, making another investigation check.
Okay.
There are a couple smarter folk here, the caster types. There's one of them that's called Gob Gob Big Boom.
God, big
He is, by the strangest meaning, a wizard goblin.
Okay.
Put that into your head.
He has 3 cantrips.
So I rolled another 18.
That's another 18. So Gob Big Boom. And he goes, oh yes! Well, first of all, do you have back, Guano?
Oh,
I do.
so he's a
You're not
level
there.
2 wizard.
I'm not there.
Please tell me you got back, Guano.
Fireballs.
You want a goblin having fireball?
I'm
Find another source elsewhere. Okay.
Okay, look, I don't necessarily have it on me, I can check, but I can source it to you, and I'm gonna, like, provide him with the pamphlet about, like, sourcing the required materials and equipment.
Okay.
And, like, so he now knows that there is a chain that one can access to get as much of whatever he's
You
asking
fill
for
out
as he
your
wants. I'm kind of glazed over when
217
people
required
talk about
position form,
magic,
turn it
though.
into silver.
All I'm saying is that the people that were not like you people, not like my people, more like people that have skin that is not
mission
me,
critical item.
and they're tall and lengthy and talk about supply chains and stuff like that. I mean, if it's not a physical chain, why did you talk about supplies? They don't give supplies. I tried to turn a chain into supplies. And,
Are you trying to make magic?
I always try to make magic.
I can get you the stuff to make magic.
Okay. Well,
Okay, that's what the pamphlet says.
what about the people that we meet in Three Goblins?
I didn't understand what you said.
Three Goblins.
Goblinks?
Yeah, goblins.
What's a goblin?
A goblin is the time that it takes for a goblin to die.
No time at all, then.
Yeah,
You're not there.
make an intelligence check.
That's not gonna go well.
We just learned the lifespan of a goblin is a goblin.
That's
a +0.
+0.
So that's an 8.
That's an 8. You have no fucking
It's a
idea.
I have
relative
no
thing,
idea what
so-
this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
saying.
Relative
And so he
distance
kind of
from
looks at you
adventure
like,
party.
fine, I'll explain
Relative
it to
distance to
you.
the ground, also.
I got like, and he literally kicks open the door, and you can see giant apparatus of woods, plants, and various different goblins that are tied up against the wall that are currently just like, hey, how you doing? And it's like, and it's like goblins, and he like just begins. You notice that there's like a water filling container, and it's like the goblins are like clicking to one side.
It's a water clock.
It's water. It's water. But
Water clock
somehow
made of goblins.
the weight distribution is based off of goblin like weight. Like goblins, I invented.
You're very smart.
Yes, that's why I tell everyone that I'm smartest. Maybe I be king.
I'm gonna let you know.
But wait, I don't have crown, so I can't be king.
I have a divination wizard who has crossed multiple dimensions, and he will understand what this is. So you
No one understands this is, only I do.
trust
It's old
me.
ignorant. I recognize that.
Trust me, he'll understand.
I've got this joke in the bag. Just
I'm gonna defer to your expertise on this, but I'm gonna let you know that you can have whatever supplies you want if you just sign up with the union and just like read pamphlet.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're
That's one thing. He's like, oh, union? Like he knows immediately what a union is.
Fantastic. Okay, this dude, you're gonna be goblin rep. Here you go. You have advanced abilities if you're able to do this and then.
He takes the weirdest goggles out that seem to be like bottoms of like rum bottles that have been filed down to make glasses.
They are literal Coke
I'm over
bottles.
here- I'm over here encouraging people to persevere through hardship. You're over here selling timeshare.
No, I want them to come and suffer through the inevitable, which is the fight with the Tarrasque.
You don't tell them that though.
Oh, that's what
No,
you
they
do here.
literally are informed, but they
With
are
the-
also
with the
pitched
natural-
on the fact
with
that
the
it's
natural
happening
18,
whether they join
Funny
up or
enough,
not.
though, with the natural
So-
18, you do notice a couple like cave paintings, but essentially goblin writing on the walls with the screwed cave-like mentality of gnolls that also added to this.
Okay.
The gnolls are the ones that catch your attention with their cave painting art. There's some sort of religious aspect about this. However, what catches your attention is basically a depiction of many gnolls following the biggest mouth. The mouth that is consuming. The mouth that is consuming all sorts of plant matter, all sorts of like mountains and people and the great hunger. That all these gnolls are like, there is going to be a great feasting.
Okay,
that's
so the
gonna happen.
goblin who is very smart.
Ragnarok.
What's his name?
Who's asking?
It is Ragnarok.
Todd.
Todd? Alright, I'll be real with you. My name is Tim.
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 Nice to meet you. So this mouth
Call him
here.
I hate my parents. I hate my parents.
I hope
Turns
you,
out Tim is an orcish swear word. They just didn't know it.
He was
I
born.
hope you're
Him.
able to work through that
Yes,
with
Tim.
them. Okay, so the giant mouth that the gnolls are approaching.
Oh yeah, the weird thing, yeah.
Okay, so there's a giant Tarrasque coming.
What's a trap?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I can solve this. I'm gonna pull out the paints and I'm going to paint a
Wait,
little.
don't the paints make it real?
I'm going
Whoa.
to paint a little model.
Okay.
And it is going to become a manifest model, which I'm then going to take with me and I'm adding to my inventory.
Yep.
That is.
You're not in the
Yes.
Feywild, so it
No.
doesn't become living.
No. It's
That would be
it's a
fucking
little
scary.
model, and the
On the other hand, the
point,
Tarrasque is this big.
so the whole
they're gonna
point
be
is that
one.
it's going to be the Tarrasque size, and then it's going to be a mountain size, and then it's going to be a building size, and then it's going to be a person size for this scaling representation, and that is the model I'm drawing. In a this is how fucking big this guy is sense,
So-
right?
Wizard Goblin Tim looks at that, sees you do the entire model, pulls a couple of levers, and waits for a half second as you hear ding, 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 and a goblin comes out, opens up a trap door to look at the outside, and goes away. God, I'm smart. And looks outside, gives a thumbs out, looks at the mountains. Oh. Oh.
I think he's got-
There's a goblin who stands out there and holds out their thumb.
Yeah, exactly. he's trying to get the perspective, how big a mountain is based off of his thumb, which is not accurate.
Right.
Really bad idea.
Yeah, really bad idea.
Perspective.
Okay, so thumb size from very far away.
Thumb size from very, very far away.
Very,
Because
very.
mountain
Oh,
is
very,
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 right.
very, very.
Mountain is very far away. Tarrasque is very, very far away. Remember?
Oh,
Look at the model.
that's very, 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 very big.
Yes. So that's
Oh.
coming now. Devil and
Oh yeah.
Fae.
Thing.
Okay. And
Demon.
space magic bullshit.
His eyes go cross-eyed.
Right. Okay. So that much power put into that guy.
And the world.
So the world is gonna get eaten if
Yeah.
we don't deal with that.
Might as well just jump into the mall, get it over with.
Exactly. So we're trying to stop every.
Is that what the union's for?
The union is to stop it.
Oh!
So the way that
I
the
thought
gnolls.
death cult.
No. So the thing that the gnolls are doing, we're on the opposite side. The way that the gnolls are like, let's just go in the mouth. We're trying to.
Oh
keep
no!
them-
They want to lead with the mouth.
They want to what?
Hard to say.
Okay.
It's more like they know what they're like. That all food become one.
Okay. Well, we want to punch the mouth closed and not have anybody go in it.
Punch the throat of the mouth.
Yeah.
I like it. It's crazy.
Sure. Yeah. So that's the union goals.
Okay.
Okay. So
Well,
anybody who you're able to recruit, they are going to get this sign-on bonus, and you're going to get this signing bonus, and you're going to.
And if the people you recruit more people,
That
they-
is not true. Only authorized people are able to recruit people into the union, so that way our message isn't misrepresented.
Okay.
This is not an MLM. This is an oh shit last
So
ditch.
I'm
not
not
building
going
pyramids
to
here.
tell you what I rolled, but I rolled intelligence to see how much he retains in terms of the accuracy of the union.
He's also given paperwork.
That doesn't change shit.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
He
so
can misremember it, but someone's gonna read it and be
toilet
confused
tissue.
at least some points.
Yeah, he's like,
But
Okay,
That's
yeah,
great. When
I'll
you
read
join this
all
club,
this
we
to
get
the
toilets.
goblins nearby, and I'll tell them that King Boss, say that,
Like 200
they want
GSM right
want
here.
this.
cool.
We shall
Okay.
sign in our blood.
Sure, that's fine.
That's goblin, they don't write. I write.
Right.
I write real good.
Right,
but
right.
most of their hand fancy is cut their hand,
I mean, we're
slap it.
respecting of all cultural norms, and if just let us know what your holiday system is, and here you go. Just go ahead and sign in whatever system you need to sign in.
Oh, we
That's
got
great.
good holiday. Everyone
So-
gets spicy on holiday.
Does not respond. Todd is a much better poker
oh yeah, he's
than
in Tim's
I
in
do.
his own world right now.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's happening. And Todd is going to deputize that goblin and the leader, the hobgoblin who was able to like, get in line, and the gnoll who was also, and they are going to be deputized for 3 things. 1, translation of all materials into the respective languages, so that way we don't have the same onboarding issue that we had previously.
That's gonna take time.
Yeah, but it is one of the core objectives.
Okay.
2, they are going to disperse across the world. They're going to be given whatever money they need and whatever materials they need in order to recruit and send them back to the central location, which is where do we, Hartkern?
I don't want to send a whole bunch of goblins and...
We're going to get back to Hartkern before then, and I'm going to set up a path that leads them to a space that I control. But that's...
So you're doing all this, and with all that, you're basically gathering additional forces to help. And by the time this happens in 6 years, goblins reproduce incredibly fast, even for in terms of like a bunny. So
we will have a whole bunch of soldiers.
But they also die incredibly fast.
Yeah.
So, but that's besides the point.
Like,
So
generations of goblins have this built into their mythos, and the same thing happens with the gnolls.
somehow all the goblins have white paint on their skin now.
But like,
not only are they painted white, but they're painted like with like facsimiles of letters from just the white horde will wash across the land.
Union representative. Anyway. Anyway.
But like all of that is, the goal is they come and sign up, they get their sign-on bonus, which comes directly out of my pocket, and I am slowly amassing cross
Every goblin gets a whole
army.
chicken to themselves.
Yes, so we'll talk about the cost of a goblin armada, but the thing that they want is food, entertainment, and entertainment can come in various forms of mainly drugs, alcohol, and live bodies.
Sure.
Then you understand.
Chicken covers all 3.
What's a chicken drug?
There are roughly 200 bodies in this nest.
Sure.
There's a lot. Not all of them are mature, and a lot of them are not. This nest was going to be a major
But like
problem.
this is,
if you
I'm
didn't
just
handle it.
setting the start point for the next 6 years.
So we'll over the next 6 years, we'll definitely get into the logistics systems and communicative abilities of
If
that.
she's going to start a goblin eugenics program, she's slowly going to breed them smarter.
I would never. Nick would die with.
But Nick was asked.
Like, that might be happening in the background and Todd doesn't know about it. Nick might show up in, like, goblin experiments and I have no idea.
You're going to come back and every single one is going to be in a suit.
No, that's probably the one place where Nicholas and Vedic probably get along fantastic. They're both sitting there in lab coats and clipboards going, nope, that one's too stupid.
Turns on the sun ray beam. Next.
But anyway, that's my bullshit for this.
Understood.
And,
So
and
I'm going to tell you.
we can camera switch.
Yeah, that's going to take a whole day. So you go off into the wilderness near the closer with a couple more forest types, literally like 10 miles away.
Yeah.
And so they travel quite a bit to get here, but you know, herds and stuff like that, they move around.
Yeah.
We've
got the boards to go faster, but everybody else is on the walking pace to go back.
So, while that's happening, Todd vanishes with a 2 representative. That is very easy to see, especially with your capabilities and, you know, surfboards flying in the air. It's like, oh, there goes Todd. You notice first, in the distance, you notice a floating armada of about 4 or 5 ships that are flying in flight formations of a dreadnought draconic ship. That is your vessel in the distance. But they're flying across the they're flying on the line of the border back to Hartkern, which takes time for the slower vessels. So they're just basically just baby shit sending them back.
Well, we have a whole plethora of people who are displaced.
They don't know that you're there, but you can see them in the distance.
I look up from choreographing these kids into the Munchkin Land scene from Wizard of Oz. All right, no, we'll come back to that.
Step ball chain, not.
Step ball change, not change.
Should I intercept?
I misunderstood.
If you want to, it'd be easy for me to get back instead of doing like astral work.
My car.
I can do it.
Okay.
I'm probably faster than you.
You can just send an arrow with a mark.
I can send an arrow and then teleport to where the arrow lands.
Oh, they're like 100 miles away. They're
can still
just
see them, though.
high in the sky.
That's perfect. That's one range increment. Perfect.
One range instrument. If you can see it, you can hit it.
I can see it. I actually do not have a maximum range
For which,
for the shooting star.
for the shooting star,
My bow.
that doesn't have a range. That's honestly
Stupid.
broken,
Yeah.
and I would never allow that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've never used. No, I'm not even gonna. But, yeah.
sorry, that you know how broken that can be.
I know.
Yeah.
But so okay, they're 100 miles away.
Give or
Where's the
take.
toboggan? I need 8 of these kids.
The only reason why you see it, the only reason why you see it is because you have crazy perception.
Yeah.
And yes, they're like
it's
they're
massive.
like literally 100 miles away. They're just really high in the sky, which is why you're able to see them.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we have communication with them, don't we? I'll just send a message. Thought we had a way to talk to
Yeah. Actually, I think he's the one that would have to send the message if he doesn't.
Actually, now that I think about it, in order for the curvature of the world and stuff like that, at a
couldn't
cruising
be more than,
altitude of cloud level, what is the maximum?
If they're at
range?
15,000 feet, you'd probably be able to see them with his crazy perception from at least 50 plus miles away.
Yeah, I'm going to say 50. 100
From
seems a
ground
little
level
far.
going up.
Yeah, I think 100 miles is a little too far. I think 50 would be
No,
like
50 to 100 miles, you probably can see
Yeah,
that.
and they had a week to travel, so
Yeah.
they're traveling along the border. So they're closing
Either way,
on Nutvar.
They're a
Not
distance,
Yeah,
a non-traversable,
A
quickly
goodly way.
distance.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to
They
send
don't
a
know
message.
of your presence because why would they?
Who has message?
There's someone over there. Hey, look, there's a carnival over there.
1 mile carnivals. Okay,
It's
it's the land of fantasy D&D.
It's like
Weird
looking
shit
at
happens
Disneyland.
all the fucking
Yeah.
Little lights and shit going on.
It's getting late. It's time for the fireworks show.
Oh, okay. So I will major image a fireworks show, but also we're like, oh, the hang on. So I will also like major image skywrite the who's the current chief operator, not the captain of the giant dreadnought that's there. Do we know?
which
I
is
do.
not you.
Then why don't you?
Edra.
Edra! So I will also skywrite, in a way that's like straight up and down. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense from this perspective, but like Edra, land here, big arrow with the lights and the fireworks.
It's probably like singular 8 square inch within the review.
So classic Edwards fashion, natural 19 on the perception on our watch, and they don't see it immediately, but it's over a course of time, and you hear basically doot, doot in your head as a message spell goes up.
Go for
Captain,
Quinn.
Go for Quinn!
Captain, I see skywriting saying that I should land over there. I am confirming this is you and this is your order.
Oh yeah, we're putting on a carnival. You should bring the crew down. Let them take some.
I
Take time
tell you,
off.
we shall be there, and she does some like mental calculations.
2 days.
In 2 days. Actually, no. For how far they can fly,
fly-
in a full
yeah.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take too long.
So yeah, it's like we can be there in about 12
100 miles
hours,
isn't crazy.
so we'll see you in the
100
morning,
miles an hour?
Captain.
It's an airship.
Because your ship can travel much faster. The armada behind them cannot.
25 boards every
Okay,
single time.
15.
Just
15 miles per hour being like their maximum. That's still like. it's only
So
100 miles.
yeah, so you'll have a ride with the and at the end. How do you set up the fireworks show? And like, please describe me what spell do you set off to make this happen?
Oh, it's just major illusion. Hang on. Or major image. It lasts
Oh, I thought you were just gonna do a meteor swarm.
Oh, God. No, I've already burned my 9th level spell slot for the day.
Well, you notice that everyone is fed, and the reason why I said 9th is because you're not doing Heroes Feast, but you're summoning food and magical capabilities. You are a smart enough cookie to basically figure out how to conjure cookies. I mean, that seems like a very Vedic thing.
It feels like that's something I still... Guys,
Slighted.
cookies? Cookies! This is my favorite spell.
They grow tiny
Cookies!
little, they grow like chocolate eyeballs, a little mouth, and a little arms and legs.
Oh, I was thinking animate objects to go like eggs crack themselves.
Oh, okay.
Were I not 10 miles away, I would say him going cookies resulted in meat pegging.
I'm still working on the details of the cookie spell. Catapult cookie. Alright, no, just major image.
Major image. major images of a large enough
must be right?
size, and especially for kids and adults and stuff like that. The adults look haggard. You still don't know their situation at hand, but they're just happy to not be
Well,
dead.
right now they're grown-ups with kids at a carnival. They
Yeah, exactly.
don't look haggard.
We never actually bothered to ask them what they were refugees from.
And
I'm just happy to be home.
Sylvia is still looking for her kids. In a mile mile diameter carnival, there's a lot of places to lose a kid. And she's
They will
trying
be
to find
back.
where her kids went. So
no doubt they
she
will be
kind of
back.
let you alone, not out of like stuff like that.
That's so hard to find.
True.
7-foot metal man. I'm so hard to find.
About an hour into your searching, you hear two little squeals of two kids that are fighting over a corn dog that in front of a corn dog cart of like literally hundreds of corn dogs behind them. And they look over and go, Sparks! And they immediately hug your legs and immediately just sit on your legs so that you can walk around with them on your
Oh
legs.
god.
I have handles. This is fine.
Yeah, but we like your feet.
No, not those ones. Those are the love handles.
Yeah, and they know to get their feet up because you're a heavy guy. So they're like, nope.
I've only gotten heavier.
Yeah.
At least you're not.
I'm gonna grab them and put them on my shoulders.
Okay.
Because they can probably sit on each shoulder pauldron.
And grabbing it, they're like freaking Velgo vroom, for each leg. You know, even though you're strong enough, it's about the kid's strength that doesn't know when to realize that he's about to hurt himself in terms of his own strength. And eventually go up and stuff like that. They're happy to see you. They're kids. They're surprisingly versatile at shunting out a lot of stuff on the brain until later, in life. But that's later.
Repressing it until they're adulthood when it's going to cause mental breakdowns.
And a lot of alcohol abuse.
We're getting cotton candy, we're getting popcorn, and I'm just sitting there holding it for
So
them as
much
they're...
fucking sugar.
Yep.
So much fucking sugar. They discovered snow cones here.
This is kind of a rarity.
I came up with that idea that when we were in that one frozen area, I found this. That I created yellow snow, and then I thought about it.
Oh god.
Because then I was like,
God.
because Eck walked out going, this is pretty good.
So you're having a family
Tastes
outing.
like brandy. That's exactly what that was. He tripped in the snow and like, oh my brandy.
Whoa!
Oh, so X piss kink isn't canonical?
I mean,
it is.
I thought you drank so much
not
your
in
piss
this
was brandy.
situation.
I wouldn't call it kink.
You made me do an entire montage of a piss.
Moving on!
Anyway,
We're not going down this
so
tangent.
you're having a family outing with Silva, a reduced family, but still a family, and a short a dog. Ripped the dog.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
But, he probably had maybe 6 months on him. He was an old dog. He was called Husky.
They killed my dog.
Yeah.
Before I had to go in and kill my father.
Anyway, so that's happening.
I was
Is
mechanical
there
gun, like,
anything
for
you
a
want to
moment.
do before, the ships come over? Do you guys want to talk to the refugees and all?
Yeah.
There are a couple of refugees. Your husband, the elder, goes,
I'm gonna fill her in as well. We have an airship
I
on the
don't
way.
mean to intrude on your personal time. I have 2
Dearest.
questions. The first is, when is the ceremony? And the second would be, what about the rest of the people? Are they allowed to leave?
We have an airship on the way. We're rescuing you. We have an airship on the way. You're coming with us.
come with me if you want to live.
I feel in.
I want to get the details. So, first of all, what is it that you are fleeing from? It can't be this rabble of goblins and gnolls.
Actually, there was first it was orcs, then it was goblins, and then it was
Killed the
gnolls. Our village was being decimated, and we were sticking it out because we've been
Because
there.
it's only 1/10 of the people. So,
Yeah, you can have that happen 9 more times before you really end in trouble.
Exactly. So, but we were sticking it out, and we were making our home
fortified because we were getting attacked more and more. But then the Verosians, the militia specifically, came over and said that they're going to make Nutvar specifically a fortress to repel additional these monsters that keep attacking us.
Fortress Nutvar.
Fortress Nutsack.
Okay.
And they kicked the kobold.
By all means.
We have an airship along the way. We're getting back here.
So they told you to leave so they could build a fortress?
They gave us two choices. One, we leave, or two, we get forcibly conscripted into the militia.
And so I take it that hence this group is all women, children, and the infirm.
And, a couple of husbands that don't like...
We don't like the Verosians, do we?
No,
We don't, as a matter of
we
fact.
I don't know.
That's why we walked down
No,
the
we-
building.
It's like a guess.
So
It was a very heavy-handed approach, but, a lot of, and
your people are free to go as they see fit.
yeah, we're just going to go to Gardoon. So.
They are
Would not recommend that.
invited to travel aboard my armada, which is en route.
Hour?
My armada. My
Is-
armada.
Hour?
Our?
I'm
Yours?
captain. Is
I'm
my
captain.
ship,
It is your ship. I'll give you that
and
one.
they surrendered to my ship.
I wouldn't call it your armada, though.
Well, if you were present, you could argue the point.
Sire. And and the elder kind of gets a little flushed. Sire, you're taking me back to my first marriage. I got married on a ship, and now we're
Yeah,
going to do
there
that
will
again.
be no ceremony.
Oh.
Your Elvish is terrible.
I've heard that. I
You
heard that
should
with my
probably
wife.
not attempt it in the presence of actual full-blooded elves, because even the half-elven-blooded me was offended to the point of considering cutting out your tongue. That being said, you can go about your business. Your people are free to go. They are neither prisoners nor conscripts. However, if you would like to travel in relative safety
And comfort.
and comfort, provisions can be made available aboard one of my ships.
I'm not going to say persuasion and stuff like that. You have enough
If you rolled a 2, it would be
charisma
33.
energy that you can make anything happen.
But that's the thing, is I'm not trying to
He-
convince them to go,
he-
I'm letting them choose.
Yeah, he's going to go off and talk to the people. There's a gathering, especially with the fireworks show that goes on at the end of the fireworks show.
Keeps kids
There's
distracted.
the gathering of kids, and after the kids get put to bed, the adults come back out and have a conversation of basically what you just gave them. They are more than willing to join you on this journey as long as you give a destination of like where you're taking them.
Hartkern.
Harkern.
Most of them don't understand the
City of the Forged.
The City of the Forged. Do you explain what the City of the Forge is?
I will give them a decent little history lesson.
Can also guarantee at least most of them employment in either the tavern, one of our guilds, the university I've decided to found.
Sold. They're on board. They're on board. You promised them
Fortress
jobs.
City, a place of plenty and
Yeah.
safety.
Didn't we conscript all of those former magical instructors into the new university?
They did so willingly.
That is in
that-
fact what happened.
That I decided to, we
Yes.
decided to found.
The money was given.
We now have some of the best magic schools in the
get to that.
entirety of the
There's a bunch of
lands.
wizard towers in front of your house now.
Yeah.
This is fine.
We also have a bunch of former slaves, too.
They are now students.
Yeah.
If they choose.
We need, and next is the Martial Academy.
Yes.
We need a Martial Academy to train soldiers.
I can do that.
Well, you have a bunch of soldiers on these vessels.
Yeah, but that's the next structure that we need to conjure or
Yeah.
build or
I can certainly work
land
with
the ziggurat, and that's the new.
Oh, right. We have no idea what
Oh.
Raven Queen is currently doing with my former
Yeah,
ziggurat.
she said she'd give it back to us by the time
She's
zero
currently
day,
having
right?
she's currently dancing alone in the chamber.
She
Slow dancing by herself.
Dancing by
she said
herself.
she would give us back her ziggurat on 0 day, right?
She did.
Okay. So we're gonna get back on 0 day.
Yes. So she can see.
What does she need?
Sorry, what did I miss?
So at night she puts on sunglasses, and I said yes, so she can see.
You deserve to be smacked.
Probably.
Yeah.
Visions at the
Anyway,
nose.
so
Yeah, they're generally up for. Now, as soon as you give the description of this horrifying concept of a bunch of children in Terminator armor essentially making a city is terrifying because of all the rumors and the, where they live.
I am a young one compared to those that currently exist.
But as soon as you
Did you mention the religious cult?
We don't talk about those.
we are not a cult.
Even that is a minority. Even that is minority.
Yeah.
And yet somehow they win so much at the Electoral College.
Yes, I wonder how they do that. I totally don't understand how they win those votes.
Where's the jar?
Seriously. But as soon as you bring up that there are organics, people that of flesh, like there's
Many
elves,
races.
there's turtles, there's other folk,
Dragonborn.
humans, halfling, dragonborn even.
There's even a friendly beholder.
Yeah, there is.
Bless you. Yeah, that scares people
Visit
away.
Live there
Visits
to get his own
frequently.
spot, but he is connected.
Actually, the beholder is not in there.
Is he actually living?
That'd
We
be quick.
call him
Not
living.
makes sense.
He's in the Codell Dynasty's capital.
I know. But
Yeah.
he comes and visits.
He's taking archery lessons.
He's not.
I'm teaching him archery. Where the hell am I?
You
In
go
his
to
house.
You
Every
gotta
time he's let out, people scream and try to kill
That's the
him.
beholder.
We're trying to break down these societal
Okay, so
barriers.
we have a flashback scene of you taking Lobby Quakes out of the tower into Harker, and people just fucking lose it.
Just the two of us.
Master to the boss. You're really.
We did not.
So 5,000 gold
Now I
pieces.
know what the crack ship is for this show.
So immediately 5,000 gold pieces of damages and distraught people.
Drop in the bucket. You see how much money we have?
Charge it!
The city of Rose has asked politely, do not do that again without prior warning.
Please, Light a Quick, stay within your chambers.
Yes.
For well of your
So,
existence, and we are
and then we
thankful for
flash
your
back to the
patronage.
future.
Please stay within your chambers.
Somehow deeper bonds.
What a day of a day. Skipping through the part for the people. Look over there. No.
One eye. One eye.
Alright, if I write a 500-word fanfic of Quinn X Labbyquix, somebody has to read it on air. That's the agreement.
I'll do it.
What kind of HP Lovecraft is this?
It's
Oh my
Lovecraft
God.
hentai.
Oh my god.
What do you think Lovecraft
long-
fanfic is?
Labby Quix's giant bulbous eye finally opened and Quinn was stripped of everything. All of his
HP
illusions.
Lovecraft.
All of it. I'll do it!
Force to the campfire! We're not talking about that! No! We're moving on! So we're back to that. So that flickers in your eyes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Raven Queen was there the whole time.
She likes watching that.
Yeah, she's got that.
Oh, no. Moving on.
Yeah. Oh, my brain hurts.
Campfire.
My head hurts. Oh, God.
The airship will be here
So
by
what are we
morning.
talking about? I lost track.
The airship will be here by morning.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come
I'm
with
gonna
us.
just break
Accommodation
straight to the
day.
morning.
We will assist in loading all your
So
goods. to
we
prevent
break
you
to
from being
morning when
assaulted.
Todd returns, and the ships are moving over. And you notice that there was another ship, two ships that were coming to engage the no longer flying Verosian flags, and a couple warning shots from your draconic
Juggernaut.
juggernaut.
Fire a warning shot.
They fired the actually. They fired the.
I said I'm there. It's not up it.
Who made that man and gunner?
I did, sir.
Literally, after a few shots of the draconic, celestial roaring cannons. Ugh, sorry about that. Of the main front part of the ship that fires
What a spectacle that
a
was for you to
giant
see that
sunbeam. They just no, that's too much. They're gonna go report, and more of them are gonna come over. But
Turn on the high beams.
yeah, literally, it's a solar gun. Anyway,
Yeah, there's one back in the city, too.
The vessels begin to land literally in a donut formation while two of them stay in the sky. And the people are loaded onto mainly your vessel, because your vessel has the room and the other vessels do not.
We're such a big nation. We're doing humanitarian missions now.
Yeah, and I'm going to literally...
Our armada is its own nation.
There's 142 people that have joined, kids included. 142 elders, women, mostly kids, and a couple of young adults. With basically the father said, "I'm taking your place, and you're getting the fuck out," and that's it. Because there's young adults that are technically young enough to be prime targeting for your conscripted into the militia. But then the father came over and said, "No, he's not."
We're not taking.
We're not conscripting anybody. These are
No.
refugees.
This was in the
These are
Verosea
refugees.
militia,
Oh,
which is why we have a couple of young
We're
men.
assisting refugees.
Refugees is all what it's about.
In 7 years, they will make fine soldiers if they volunteer.
7 years, no less than that.
Listen,
In 6 years, they will make fine soldiers if they volunteer.
they're like 15 to 18 years old. They're like perfect.
In 5 years, they will make fantastic soldiers if they volunteer.
Oh, you're saying
In
that
just 7 days,
I can make you a man. God damn it!
as you guys
That
float
song
off,
never needed to enter my mind ever again.
as you guys as the SS Lollipop begins to lift off.
The carnival's still going on.
The carnival's still going on.
Oh, waving, and as we start to leave over the horizon, you go,
The Knolls.
and all the goblin corpses just sort of drop right where they were.
Someone's gonna come along this road and
one
just see
poor dude,
mayhem.
one poor dude who was not part of the refugee, who just happened into the carnival at the time, was like,
This is the best place ever.
"What the hell did I take?"
And stories ripple. Oh, tavern stories ripple. I'm going to say in a week's time, you get back to Hartkern. There are a couple of mana storms that cause delays in order to get there, which is why Sky's ships don't go there. And traveling via river, you get back to the city of Rose. Unless you wish to go to the city of Isle. But, you know, Rose, it's the capital, it's where all the thinking people are.
They can distribute amongst themselves as they need it.
Exactly.
We have plenty of land here.
And you notice that
And that, children, is why dragons are biologically compelled to eat the offspring of royalty.
enamored. The fear of the children have lost away at the moment, but they're still kind of a little weird. I don't like that you're saying this as a golden drag. Cold.
He's a golden
the
dragon.
logic parts of the brain are
They
still
don't need
like,
to know that.
yeah, like,
That's what a golden dragon looks like.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very big.
yeah. You're no, it's not. A dragon's bigger and more impressive and charismatic.
I couldn't agree more.
See, on the model, there's the mountain and the Tarrasque, and the dragon is somewhere in between.
And speaking of
Todd, you get back to the ship, no problem, and stuff like that. What are you doing with the goblins, hobgoblins, and...
I gave them a map and directions on where to go.
Okay.
And
I
I
don't
get
think
back
they
and I go,
must.
"So, Quinn, I'm gonna need you to talk to the leaders of Hartford." And I'm gonna make this a Quinn issue. Because
You just hand it up.
It's always a Quinn issue. As soon as someone needs to talk to, Quinn, can you handle this? As soon as there's an angry mob, Quinn, can you handle this? As soon as there's something that just needs bled out, Quinn, can you just stand back and get your spleen perforated while we try and handle this?
I've never asked for your help with bleeding.
You know what? Fine. The next time some maniac wielding harpoons comes along, we will be the first person we call.
Look, just
Quinn, they're here to talk to you.
Okay, so my options are: you can handle this, or I can call Nicholas. Which boss do you want me to go to?
And we
boss?
both know I'm really bad at doing anything diplomatic.
You're
Yeah.
thunk, not thunk part of this. Thunk, thunk, thunk.
I invented it for the spice egg. It's just scrambling for the cookies.
That underneath, like, got it.
What's that? What's that?
I love that you guys
Oh my
assume
God.
it's food. I assumed it was
I-
like magnets
I
or something.
need a little mini game on an app phone. That is that.
Little golden dragon catching him
cookies
up.
off of
Off of
sparks.
sparks. That is just amazing. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so do you want to?
Sure, I will
Okay.
handle this.
So, I have gathered together a coalition of evil races, and they want to participate in the fight against the Tarrasque in 5 to 6 years. So I've given them directions to Hartkern, and the guys at Hartkern need to know about it so they don't kill them on arrival.
In the distance, you see a green line going, one by one, we march on, hurrah, hurrah. It's just
They just keep doing it one by one.
Todd has given. There's a goblin warren.
Because that's the size they can carry.
There's a goblin warren that we've decided, that Todd has decided to let grow for the next 6 years, and we've told them where the nearest large metropolitan area. 5 years, and we've told them where the nearest metropolitan area is.
Wait, so are they coming here now, or are they coming in 5 years?
So they're going to come here now, so that way they can receive training, their dues.
Oh.
They're going to work on the
So we're gonna
appropriate
incorporate
recruitment
them into the
materials.
local population.
Like, say again.
We're going to incorporate them into the local population, or at least give them a nearby.
A nearby
I mean,
settlement is
let's-
the
like-
expectation.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's not like these are people. They're more like 3/5 of people. Like,
Wow.
That's very bold
Right in
coming
the
from you.
retracted dick. Just wham!
My question is, do you let them on the ship?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely
That
not.
would be-
no.
Look,
We can paint one purple without
Todd's
that.
not real bright, but you don't put the people who were just attacking the people onto the same boat as the people they were just attacking.
The goblins come right aboard, right over here. It's like there's one ramp that comes off, and there's another ramp that goes off. The goblin horde is going this way, right off the. There you go.
Like, if I were going to bring them onto the ship, it would be only if I had like 6 of them, and I would put them in the bunny hole.
Okay.
Like, there's
So,
an explicit
100
separation.
advisable. And okay, so this, I'm gonna say, we fast forward because you made that decision.
Yeah.
You made that decision. About a week later, you have reports of the scouting parties of Hartkern reporting a bunch of goblins running for their lives from, like, literally T-Rexes and dinosaurs.
Oh shit! And like immediate go in hell. Like,
the goblins don't know about
Todd's
Jurassic
never
Park.
experienced the dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're a thing here.
Todd has no like Todd flies up and travels. There
Yeah.
has been no ground contact.
So you expect a complete decimation of forces, but again, I repeat, goblins are incredibly powerful in survivability and adaptation. So you find a bunch of goblins that have somehow, you don't know how, against all forces of nature, are currently riding full-size velociraptors, and they're currently hunting down a bunch of smaller lizard folk. And they have like a bunch of new tattoos across their bodies.
Talking about resourceful.
I think I have
Guerrilla warfare.
discovered
Yeah.
a new
And they're like 3
capability.
times the body index. Now there's like half of them left.
Yeah, sure.
I need
that's-
a, I
They
need
reproduce
a
so fast,
kobold
it's like it
warren.
doesn't matter.
I just have to start one.
Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Quinn, the goblins are arriving, and we need to make sure that they have a pen for their pet velociraptors. Okay, bye!
And then the T-Rex, as you're doing that, regular T-Rex come crashing through.
No, like as soon as like the scouts reported it, Quinn went to the council chambers to request an audience, and then Todd went off to go meet them, and then discovered that, and like Quinn is standing, my fellow esteemed council members, bing, fuck.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Quinn?
I'm sorry, could you repeat? So as model, one of these 7 counselors of the Temple of Thought. I'm sorry, could you repeat that again so that the scribes can write that down?
Dictator. Furious.
I rolled a
never
one, I
get to
rolled a
write
one.
this
Fuck. Yes. So, in our efforts to provide all possible defensive and offensive capabilities for the coming struggle against the calamity that is this Tarrasque, we have recruited far and wide a vast and diverse array of creatures and abilities, some of which are currently approaching our borders.
You can hear like the drumming of this.
Yeah. With the
I'm just like the
intent
goblins just doing
to
their thing.
peaceably settle here
I just realized the last thing I brought into this situation was Frank, and now this.
Easily.
Frank and who?
Frank and now
Frank
this.
the Mummy Lord.
The Mummy Lord.
Yeah. We still have to go raid.
We'll take care of
He's
it.
fine. He just hangs out in his robe and yells at you.
Get off my lord!
We are that powerful. It's just shut up. Stay
The kids run guy goes, I will enslave you. Back on your fucking road.
He gets a little bit more.
Close
He gets
the
spray
crypts.
bottle.
Into your crypt.
But it's holy water, spray bomb.
Clint Eastwood should put him in the live action version.
And literally, as you're bringing at the end of that statement, first of all, just going to in the middle of that statement, you hear
I
Philip.
don't know that I'm an addition to the team, you guys.
You know that this freshly elected CL Philip, yeah, that is his common name, not his real name. Philip goes, you do realize that we recently suffered a sandstorm because of Mr. Frank, so that's the thing now.
He was trying to do the Macarena and accidentally summoned a sandstorm.
So I need you to roll a disadvantage on persuasion. I know.
Can we just put him in a force bubble?
Shake it. It's like a sandy snow
Oh,
globe.
Exactly.
Yes! Yes! I rolled a 1! Natural 20!
So describe, because this is a political nightmare
Yes.
in terms of like trying to.
Task failed
As
successfully.
you're sitting in literally under the colossal rose, that is literally a construct dragon, that is the Warforged people, the mega populace, that is the sleeping metallic dragon, that they have made their thinking citadel, the temple. They are the Council of Tempered Thought. You see the 7.
Oh, it's not actually specific. Okay.
The 6 representatives of the households of the ruling majority of Hartkern, plus the representative of the people there. How does your 1 turn into a 20 using your mask for the first time?
My esteemed colleague, I could understand how...
Is it the green mask?
As you go more and
Green
more
mask?
deeper into your
after
Palpatine
you
state.
said the word fuck and they asked you to repeat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I can repeat it. So as you become a little bit more palpatized, like Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Like, yeah, Palpatine, as you continue your conversation, please
Palpatine.
end your
It's the
statement of
green
how
mask
you
from the
present
mask.
this.
Real quick.
It's that
Before you
mask.
do the real thing, what my headcanon is that you're going on and on about this speech, and they're zoning out and not responding, and then the AC kicks on, and all of a sudden they're like bright-eyed and engaged again. Like from a 1 to a 20, that's the only thing I can think of in real life.
That is beautiful.
Right?
So my reality of it is,
Right.
so Quinn is trying to talk to them about, you know, the nature of heroism, and, you know, this city needs to
heroin.
band together and all these different things, and they're all like, yeah, we know that, we're the people that hold this damn city together. And then it's like, they're, you know, and then it's like, you have welcomed travelers from afar, even celebrated us as your heroes, despite the various, what you might consider unnatural, as a flurry of pixies deliver brandy to all of them.
And literally, Philip goes, did you just give alcohol to the council during office hours?
No, I did not.
He left up.
So you can understand when I, a humble woodsman, came among you for the first time.
The thick layers of
I get nice over there because I've got a lot of grease on me right now.
Miss.
I didn't realize that you could, like, the words formed out of your mouth at just like that. But
Humble. No.
Bear in his torso and head only body, because, you know, the rest of it's been destroyed, goes, do you need a moment? Do you need water?
I got it out.
I can do this.
Do you need brandy?
First came among you.
Water.
I was merely another adventurer. And now, and he proceeds to like list like an 8-minute diatribe on the various acts that he's been a part of in service of the domain in this city, kind of reminding them like, hey, I'm here for a fucking reason, and if I'm telling you that this is gonna happen, it's gonna freaking happen. It's the edge of, look, I'm asking you nicely to provide these people with a place to settle so that they can serve us, so they can, assist us in saving the effing world.
So
and then there's the polite, I'm asking nicely, not because I have to.
They see that. Their level of insight is, they literally, their entire job is to sit here and look at insight on people. Yeah. They are experts. Every single one in here have magical items that give them expertise and insight. Which is why, when people lie at them, they're like, we're not going to work on you on principle because you just lied to us. Because we're not going to have that right now. Because we're starting out. We can't have that. But I'm going to make an insight check before I give like the internal thinkings of these Council of the Temple Thought.
Where the hell is my character sheet? It's buried underneath the multitude of items.
All the magic items I've got floating around.
Yeah.
Bags of holding are next. Several bags of holding.
Well, it's...
I'm going to like to say a T-Rex has burst out behind
24.
the Velociraptors ridden by goblins that are currently running away from the T-Rex. It still looks fucking awesome, but at the same time, it's just like, it's another day in Goblin.
Yeah, but like, as that's happening, that's when Todd catches up and like double sword down into the
and they
head
turn
of the
around and
T-Rex
immediately pack tactics it and stuff like
There's
that.
one goblin in a leather jacket with Buddy Holly glasses on going, I told you this was a bad idea.
Life finds a way.
That's Tim. Anyway.
Let's just see he's still alive.
24.
24. Okay. So, 24 is enough for them because they're not very good deceivers. They're very good people at like inciting. Yeah. There's a few of them that are good at deceivers, but that's because they don't have like faces. Mm-hmm. They have like robotic faces, but they don't have like physical faces.
Yeah, no features.
Exactly. So it's more of like the body language that betrays them because they work on that. But anyway, basically what they're thinking of is like, we understand that they understand 100% that you're asking nicely. They cannot fight you, and you know that. They cannot fight you without half of their city or all of their city being uprooted. So they have to act in the best interest of making sure that their city survives. Yeah. And if that means, unfortunately, bowing their graces on a unformal setting to what you guys demand, then that's what they're going to do. You're asking.
I'm asking.
And they appreciate that. However, in terms of resources, you brought in refugees from the slave area, refugees physically of another 100 plus, almost 150 plus, and now additional goblins. On a calculating scale of, we're getting more people than we have buildings at the moment. This is going to get messy fast in terms of like a civilization situation. They are willing to accept, but they are also doing a calculating front of, we need to make changes in order to adapt to the changing times that are more faster than we can move right now.
Yeah.
They don't say that.
No, and that's the thing, is I'm fully realizing that I'm asking them to allow, I said I wanted a space adjacent to, a protectorate adjacent to the city for the goblins to dwell in.
And that helps.
Yeah.
That helps immeasurably. Yeah. They approve that because of that, because they're still recovering from the influx of additional people that you guys brought last time. Plus,
they're also remembering that last time I invited a friend over, we kind of wrecked one of the wards of the city.
Exactly. And there's also that. It was like, that didn't help.
But he's really a great guy. Terrible archer. Great guy.
Yeah.
Labby Quicks.
Labby Quicks.
Oh, the thing we just did. Yeah, okay. Tracking.
You think Labby Quicks would join us in the fight?
Labby Quicks is a scholar.
I don't think that's the problem right now. We have other issues.
That's another check here.
I think we ought to go to the dwarves.
Oh, well, yeah, that's next up, Galdoon.
Yeah, so they approve that, and another week later, the goblins eventually get there with the assistance of Todd, because navigating the individual valleys between the mountains is truly Vietnam level.
We have connections there.
It's half the force of the goblin army lost. So it went from like 300 to 150.
Okay.
Because the dinosaurs and the swamplands and the jungles and the adapting to the situation, these goblins go from classic shit-eating goblins to roided out, Rambo style, mass-paced motherfuckers. And literally half of them died because of it, but they adapted.
Only the best survived.
Only the best survived.
What are the gnolls?
The gnolls, they had to, keep up pace. The gnolls had the worst time because they would attack anything that was living that was slightly smaller than them for meat. In terms of dinosaurs, that's not always good. Literally, there's only a fourth of the gnolls left.
Okay.
Because they kept trying to attack and then realized, oh shit.
You can't.
You can't.
Yep.
The hobgoblins kept pace with the goblins because they have that goblin nature.
Alright.
So interesting enough, the
half
goblins are
goblin
great
forces make
in
it.
terms of reproductive soldiers.
If you,
You can turn them into clones. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first clone troopers.
Oh no! Now I just imagine a
droids
bunch
and
of
the clones
goblins
working
in
together.
clone trooper armor.
It's the clones and the droids together.
I'm starting to wonder.
Alright, well, I'm gonna be very, very real. Of all the forces that I amass, this is gonna be the Bad Batch team.
Guerrilla warfare professionals.
And Tim,
No, we have
Got
actual
him.
guerrillas for
he
that.
survived.
Okay.
He's smart enough to I'm not gonna do that.
And, I'm sorry, he was a goblin or a hobgoblin?
He was a goblin.
Yep.
Okay. So, Goblin Tim.
And he gets wedgies daily from the hobgoblins.
That's fine. We all have issues. Okay, so once we get them there, I'm going to expend whatever I need to in order to get them set up with living quarters, pens for the velociraptors, because that is apparently part of their fucking...
Yeah, that's apparently part of their
Armament
thing now.
now.
And they don't really know. They've been at a roaming band for about half a month now. Well, now I'm going to give it a full month between traveling from there to here of trying to get there.
It was 300 miles.
Yeah.
Over mountainous terrain.
Through mountainous terrain, yeah. So it's got
Okay.
a full month trip.
So,
At least.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that set up. I'm going to get them set up with a trade agreement that is specifically if you are to take any of the humanoid population, they must already be dead when you encounter them. You do not kill them on sight. You do not hunt any of their hunting parties, etc., etc. Get all of that signed up, squared away, and then they're allowed to engage in actual trade with Harkern, but it should be a hosted trade party since they're separate.
And this is going to be a long-term situation of
Yeah.
this is going to take time for the goblins to again
Civilizing
adapt over
goblins.
time.
Yeah.
Because unlike the situation where they reached the forest and found out about dinosaurs, which is just a blunt force trauma,
Survival-
it's
that's a
survival
survival
of the
thing.
that's a
Yeah.
survival of the fittest. This is more of a soft skill. You have to begin society and
Use the
brain.
thing
Sure.
between your ears.
Yeah, which
that
is
all's happening. There is a
Bless you.
certain rather immediate reinforcement of if they hurt any of the humanoids and I find out about it, there is swift retribution in Buddy 4.
that gets their attention.
Okay.
So, all right, you don't have to roll intimidation. That gets their attention because their society is as a culture is a little different at the moment,
It is based on monarchy.
So
and tyranny specifically.
that, and then once we get them settled in and whatever, I assume at some point over the couple of weeks we deal with Frank, since he's summoned sandstorms and whatever.
During that month, I'm just going to clarify, the refugees get settled in during that month because you bring a whole armada of ships. We didn't even address that. You bring your dreadnought, your aircraft carrier, essentially, along with 5 different Verosian vessels that have banded stripes and were soldiers to the High King of the Child Monarch, aka the Shadow Monarch, but that doesn't exist anymore, but they don't know that. But they didn't know about the Shadow Monarch, period. March in, they are relieved of their stripes, of their uniforms, and they go under thorough investigation, which this is part of the negotiation with the additional goblins of we just got 1,000 extra people, and we have to investigate every single soldier here for...
Keep them busy.
Exactly. And they know how to do that, but at the same time, they are quickly running out of manpower in terms to handle the additional growth, because that takes time.
But that's things like we just brought in 1,000 people. Well, those people are busy building and doing all the things.
Their job is no building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's additional building projects, but at the same time, keeping the national secrets of the Hardcore Nation is also a top priority because they're still actively at war and still on constant conflict on the front lines. So this is just it's a boon in the waiting, but they have to be careful it's not a curse.
Sure. I will say that I don't know what the various warlocks are up to, but Todd's are always on management and support
That
and
definitely
grudge
helps.
work. And so, like, if there's 10 weeks worth of vetting various people, Todd's dudes get stuck doing vet paperwork.
It's not a great job, but it is my job, and I know it must happen.
Yeah.
Rips the paper. Next!
Exactly. Someone's got to do it, and it's gonna be these poor fucks. So,
And they're going to be the most powerful warlocks the board's going to know.
I will say that if you get power based on doing the thing that your patron tells you to, Todd's dudes, they do it every day. Like,
Yeah.
It's
I know
it's a sad life.
So that's happening during the month span, and the goblins start to move in. Is there anything you guys want to add on top of it during this short span of getting things moving? Because you guys are doing stuff too.
I'm just wondering, when we have a moment here, I would like to know, do we have an idea of, now that we've got essentially an army coming together here? We know we have to go visit the dwarves and tell them, but and maybe we can get them on our side. But also, I wonder if the egg is there in their volcano yet.
That's probably not. We didn't find it until it was getting kicked around
Or it's
out of
outside the
bullets.
volcano.
You do
But
make an
outside of that,
intelligence.
where do we want to engage this Tarrasque? Where do we think we should engage it?
Surface of the moon.
18.
18, you have distinct memories of this reality, remembering that you've already found it and already gave it to Goat. You gave the rock before finding Harpoon.
That's right. They do have it. It isn't in Golden.
Oh crap! You're right.
All right, that's what we're charting a course and planning an expedition and another humanitarian mission.
Should we try to get the egg out of the?
Probably a good idea to do that. I don't know what happened when they broke it, but let's not have a
Well,
bunch
we
of
do know what
angry
happened when they
words.
broke it. The volcano exploded.
We know that it was in the volcano when it exploded. We don't know how it exploded.
Hi, yes, I like every potion of fire resistance you have in stock.
10,000 gold pieces right there.
Here's a bar of platinum. Make more.
Were you charging me, or were you giving me bonus XP?
No, the additional 10,000 gold pieces if you want to buy all the fire resistant.
Here's a bar of platinum. Make more.
Make more? You're investing in fire resistant potions?
We're gonna need a lot.
We have
I'm joking.
a whole team of art. Like we have magerites and artificers and all these people.
So
that we
this
employ.
is sort of where
Yes.
Vedic, where this is sort of where Vedic is coming into the whole thing. So
You
Vedic,
have people.
right? So Vedic's whole thing up until this point has sort of been cultivating. This is all the culmination of his last, several hundred years coming together, and he's just kind of like suckers, like on some level.
Yeah.
And so, okay, these suckers have got this under control. Let's find some new suckers. So Vedic is going to be cultivating not just some warlocks, but like adventuring parties, but also sending them out to go, oh, I need you to go find this rare reagent that these low-level artificers that I've employed over here are going to turn into potions of fire resistance. So Vedic is going to...
Because you've already got started on that prior.
And you do
Right,
that. And you
yeah,
get
yeah.
we
So-
have the funds to literally pay people to do it.
So not just is Vedic cultivating additional adventurers to be able to, be part of this, but he's saying, hey, I need you to get these resources. He's sending them out on quests. I totally just need the hoof of this
100%.
thing.
You need to
I will
send
be
word to
frank with you,
Gaudun and
the
buy the
bountiful
edge.
resources in terms of arcane combustion / resources is plentiful in these mountain ranges because they haven't been plundered yet by other
Perfect.
nations, because it's also very fucking hostile. So it's one of those situations of yes, it is there, but you also have to go bully punch a fucking Fae or T-Rex in order to get to it.
And so...
I'll take the T-Rex.
Yeah, exactly.
And so... for as long as it takes,
yeah,
he's
so
going to be pulling out artifacts and scrolls
going to
and
either make a
staves and wands for people.
going to either make a performance
or business arcana check.
Business
Now I
arcana.
say business because I would
You got
not.
a BA.
You're not. You do not have proficiency in any sort of merchant capabilities. So
I hire people for that shit.
exactly. But that also means
We need to go
business
to it and
management
actually
stuff.
go get the egg.
Okay, we can do that. I'm just, you know.
Like badly. Or like store it somewhere. Safe. Like in the astral plane.
37.
37. And what did you use?
Arcana.
Not Arcana. This is a intelligence business. This is outside of like if you had the background merchant. I would
Alright,
say use
if
that.
we're just throwing a straight intelligence
Yeah.
roll, I'm re-rolling that. Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, you do have lucky.
It's a 20.
20. 20 is good. 20 is
So,
good.
hold on. It
So,
didn't take us 7
we'll tell you the
years.
DC was 20 for the
then to
region
blow
in
up
the
memory
area
for us
because
to
it's
try and
that
fight it.
difficult in terms of keeping consistent traffic lines for resources, paying the people enough so that they don't quit on the first day because they just saw John just get bit in half, followed by an insect. Just
John should have followed the safety manual.
exactly. All right.
Thank you. That's what it's there for.
So it's one of those kind of situations of that compensation has to be high enough, which takes away profit margins from other people.
not worried
So it's
about
one of those
profits.
situations you gotta keep that in a
Do we need to call
balance.
OSHA the Occult Safety and Health Artificers?
And
No, it would be the
make a
occult
perception
safety
check.
of Parker.
You know what? At the same time,
Association.
make a perception check.
Hey, I can do that too.
Yeah, you didn't roll high enough to notice it right away. And you didn't fail, so they don't make themselves known. But you might still see it.
24.
24. You're one off. So I'm going to give you this. You know someone's actively trying to get in your way, but you don't know who. You're running a
Going to
business.
have saboteurs.
Yeah, you are trying to make a business and you're making it run, but you know for a fact routes that in terms of business terms of like communications and making this happen should be fine, but they didn't happen, so you had to use other routes, which you did. You made it happen, but you know something weird is happening.
Okay.
That's all you get.
Do we get to figure something out?
So you're starting that up,
We're still
and
having
you're
to-
specifically going for arcane supplies for scrolls and potions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Scrolls, potions, equipment. We
name,
gotta outfit an army after all.
name that business. We'll get back to you in a
Gold
moment.
Dragon Limited.
'Cause
No. No.
Fly by Night Enterprise.
No.
No, that's
no.
that's
hang
a
on,
mercenary
hang on,
company.
I gotta come up with some synonyms. So hang
Dragon
on.
milk potions.
Harry's Hordes Unlimited.
Vedek's Vivisession?
Trig them all and just.
I have a question that may not have manifested
secret.
itself yet,
Okay.
but
It's not Victoria's Secret. Secret.
fed a very, very powerful lich lady to
The Raven
one of
Queen.
my bosses.
Yes.
And gave them notice of it.
Oh, yeah.
And attributed the victory to my immediate supervisor.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, A, did I get a raise? B, did
Oh.
she get a power increase?
She got
of
a
any
power
kind?
increase and got a additional task because of it. So she's kind of in a
Tactical magic.
tactical bitterness.
Sure.
So she's going to give you a promotion.
Cool. And then, are there any additional activity? Like, did we find out I should be hunting liches? That kind of thing.
Sheath pauses on that. Liches and undead in general are usually frowned upon, especially in the House of the Raven. However, not all liches steal
Dealing with the dead.
from the same source. Make note of every lich you encounter and find how they come to this unnatural power.
Okay, so it's more research than power consumption.
Yes, because declaring war on all undead, there are several undead gods that use undead as a form of punishment. So it's one of those situations of like, she doesn't like undead, and she would 100% be like, yeah, kill those bitches. However, due to the relationship of other gods and goddesses, you can't just do all-out war sometimes. Not, at least not now.
Business name: The Worm and Wand.
Ooh.
Cute.
Oh.
Put that in the general chat of Discord. We'll make a business area so that we can
Sure.
keep track of all this.
Wait,
Wand.
I thought that was the porn shop we were running.
That's the wyvern wand.
Okay, so Nick
And
was
with a small
did-
description of what their task is.
No, that's the staff and stinger.
Ooh, I like that. So,
Okay, and then Nicholas's promotion came with additional
Nicholas.
responsibility.
oh yes, and they'll be found out as soon as you come back to the show.
Okay.
No,
Have I
okay.
been informed that I should do that?
In the round
To return to the Shadowfell? No, not at the moment.
Okay.
The fate is currently trembling with possibilities, and you are currently where you need to be.
Okay.
Yay! Unless your path brings you back to the Shadowfell, specifically.
Okay. Additional responsibilities.
In other words, don't die
TBD.
again.
Go back if needed, but don't rush it. Okay.
No, I'll tell you now. Your task is to be dealing with the paperwork of the additional servants that that Nicholas is currently handling because of her promotion. That is constantly coming in and out of the Shadowfell to other dimensions, labeled.
What? I'm sorry, the connection's really crackly. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so you're gonna be doing a lot of paperwork.
Okay.
Just didn't catch that. It's so weird.
Weird.
Connection's
You know,
super
message
clear.
doesn't translate well across dimensions.
Yeah.
You know.
I am helping my family build a new home, or they can live with us if they want to.
She's not going to say no to a mansion.
Okay.
Why are there children in my bed?
I really feel like you should have cleared that with the.
My room.
Bye, I'm gonna go move into a pyramid. I'll be right back.
There we go. Then I can take you space.
I do want to point out, you just moved an entire horde of children into a house
Only two.
I have 2 children.
with a room that says "Do not enter," and it means it.
I feel like they would learn that pretty quickly.
That-
I
Well, the
feel
second
like you
one would
only,
learn that.
you only get one chance to learn this lesson.
There's a lock.
Oh, by the way, when you come back to your homes
Okay.
after that flying through and everything again here on your ships, you come back to like literally 4 wizard's towers that have been erected in front of your building because technically they can't leave that area because they're still
God
Verosian
damn it, now I
Tower.
have to get a bigger wizard tower.
Yeah, and as soon as you get there, you notice the professors that have a nice little eating, like almost like a grill and
I do.
bar that has
Pocket
set it
tower.
up in the center of their like wizard tower area.
I think it's gonna come
and they
in
go,
handy.
"Hey!"
Hey, you're on my lawn.
Yes,
It's either pocket damage really quick or pocket idea.
Awesome.
No,
Awesome.
no, I totally want to own a pyramid, and I'm gonna refab that thing like you would.
Look,
Not
we're
fun.
technically
It's
not
gonna be-
allowed to leave, and we're under your protection. It says
It's gonna look like
halfling.
Bass Pro Shops.
We're under your protection, but we're also not welcome, and we're terrified if we leave the said border, even though we're wizards, and we're terrified to go back home. You hired us. She hired us. Look, pointing to Todd. We're waiting for assignment and also a little bit of like diplomatic. Please make sure we don't
I'm
get
glad you
shot.
guys enjoyed your vacation.
To be clear,
Yes,
they
we-
were hired and assigned to you.
I know. I
That
have
explicitly
to
How
start.
much did you?
Oh God, I have to run a university.
How much?
No, I did not want to run a university.
We just brought
How
142
much did you give
children
them?
that can be their
I know.
You said you tossed the bag, but I didn't know how much you gave.
Wait, what?
You said you tossed them a bag of money, but you didn't specify how much it was inside.
Okay.
It's probably like 1,000.
I'm gonna make Frank the gym teacher.
Oh my god!
No.
How many
History.
of them are there?
History, yes.
Because
Eight.
everyone growing up had that history teacher that was
Eight.
100 years old.
Of the wizards.
The wizards.
Okay,
No,
then
you didn't.
it's gonna be 80 gold for the sign-on, and then that will determine additional
They all sign
compensation.
immediately.
Yeah.
No, it's 80 total. Like
Oh,
10
80 total.
apiece.
Oh,
so
okay,
a 10 gold sign on, which is still more than enough to live on for a month.
Oh, yeah, and usually they get
that's
like
pretty good.
So
Like, as
In-
wizards, it's
in
not the
terms
thing
of
it
fair,
would be for a
in terms of
common,
fair understanding, and you're a smart enough individual for a person that's been hiring a lot of people. A professor of a wizard university usually go for like 50 gold pieces a month at a university.
That's a shit ton of money.
That is.
Right.
That's like noble level.
Yeah, and they were teaching in noble districts.
Oh, yes, that makes sense.
Okay, that's all well and good.
Yeah,
It was a sign-on
and
bonus.
a couple of them are nobles.
Yeah.
It was a sign-on
Take on
bonus.
sign-on.
They didn't negotiate additional terms, and they've been sitting on their ass for the last 2 weeks. So they can take that up with the dude who they were assigned to that they did not.
So you get a list
follow-on
of like,
term.
hey, we understand this was like the vacation time. You gave us no assignments. However, this is the current going rate of professors, lords, and ladies of a university of, no longer the University of the Perawit Academy of Mages. That honestly, this is the 6th time that exploded on the halfling's turn.
Yeah.
As far as they know, you're dead.
Take that up with him.
So, what would you consider an acceptable pay cut for a occupation where your facilities don't actually explode on the regular?
Well, that does reduce the pay because hazard pay is part of the
Yeah,
reason
there's
why
no
we
more
get paid
hazard
so
pay
much.
because you're no longer in
And
hazard.
you're currently talking to, no, I'm going to say you're currently talking to Professor Langron.
That's
Dieblet.
fine. He's negotiating with a Fey
Yeah.
Lord, so.
And this,
Sorry, can I have your name, sir?
My name is Professor Langron Dieblet. I am.
You literally.
Lesson 1.
You
We
just
do not
gave.
eat in the Fae.
We're not in the Fae, and yes, that's one of the teachings.
Still
I am
Fae
a
Lord.
professor of the Abjuration School, one of 2 professors of the that are here today. I am able to cast 7th level spells, personally myself, which is considerably powerful, but not for such capabilities as you. I can already taste the weave across you.
That's
so-
just my ass for a shave.
Duly noted. I would recommend, I would advise that those that would be under your employment at least to be 15 gold pieces a month for our professions. We are scholared, we have reputations, and some of us are lord and ladies. Not all of us, but that in this land of, and she looks over, in the land that does not represent nobility, your bloodline does not matter. And I understand it's more merit of skill here.
Yeah.
Okay, so just confirming. 1, you are not nobles. 2, you are not employed under a university. 3, you are not receiving hazard pay. 4, you have not provided any representation of skill beyond telling us certain things that you're capable of. 5, we do not have a commitment of any activities that would be performed. 6, you're bundled as an organizational group, or you're negotiating individually. It sounded like you were negotiating individually.
I was going as a bundle. Deal.
Okay, cool.
And if you wish
so
us to
that means
leave-
that the rate is going to be flattened among you. Don't interrupt me. 7, this just all of the shit that Todd has been doing, and then hands it to Quinn. Final negotiations will be completed with Quinn. Thank you.
Make an intimidation check.
Puff a funny smoke. And she.
I mean, really, this is more of a help action,
Okay,
I
yeah,
would
sure, this
argue.
would be a help.
So I roll the intimidation?
So, but what are you doing? It could be intimidation, it could be a persuasion, but it's like a good
But you've got
I'm the
him.
good cop.
bad
I'm
cop.
the good cop.
Yeah.
You were the bad cop,
So,
and I get to be the
and
good cop.
to be fair, many years old. Don't know how, gnomes live for a while, for a hot sec.
He had to look down for the first time, and
And he realized that.
this came up at him from his knees.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
The gnome had to look down at
Yeah.
It
And
only
and that's
amuses
enough
me
said.
with short people,
So-
but it really kills me with short guys.
I will recognize that you have skills that are of value to this city. If you will recognize that your presence here is at good graces that we have been able to gain with the ruling council. And we are extending that protection to you so that you may earn a better life here than you knew in your previous city. That being said, I believe that 15 gold pieces a head is an acceptable rate. And you will be given tasks. Your towers are lovely. There will also be a structure dedicated for training purposes.
Oh, these are just
Domiciles.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
There will be a structure erected, either magical or mundane, probably a combination of both. And there is a fresh influx of students. He points to like all of the kids from the refugees. They're like sitting like in a feet, like in the yard, right, chasing around puppies that might be Feywild creatures. Here's your first flock of students. Their education should not be purely magical.
What do you mean by not purely magical? We are mages.
You will lead an institution of higher learning. Magical studies will be your primary occupations, and as the school heads, that will be your area of responsibility. But there will also
Deans
be
of the departments.
deans. Yeah,
That, okay. Just like for clarification and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Understand.
there will be physical education, including martial training. There will be horticulture. There will be, basically, we're going to open a university of everything.
I made that 6 years.
Yeah.
We have the best swordsmen in the lands. We have the best.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you finally recognized my skill.
Gonna make a persuasion check with advantage with the help of Todd, doing the good
I was
and
going to say
bad
you were best archer, not
routines.
swordsman.
I'm actually really good with a sword, too.
Don't lie.
I just don't ever use it, because it's just
I
it's
should
so
help out with
unsimilar.
I should help out with
Yo, watch it, sir.
the combat. The
Definitely.
martial training, I should help
Yeah.
out with.
Absolutely. Persuasion with bonus, 34.
34. Okay. And understand this is going to be a multifaceted situation because so this gnome breathes in through his pipe that he's been smoking while you were talking, and it's one of those long, like obscenely long, because it has to also get past
The
his.
very first time he blows smoke at me, I pull my sword and it goes out, and I put the sword away.
Oh no, he's not going to blow at you.
Okay.
He blows out his nostrils, which turn into smoke of dragons that
Yeah.
swirl into abyss, because he's fucking magic. But he's not going to blow it into you, because that is a.
No,
That's
but
insult.
my action would be draw the Gale of Everice, which immediately
Yeah.
extinguishes all non-magical flames.
Like, no,
and then put it back.
He's not that person, but he
I would
does
be
look
so
down,
pissed.
and his
I have
eyes,
something baking right now.
yeah, his eyes flare with a bit of magic, and you notice that he did not he did not verbally cast
It was
anything.
subtle, I got it.
It was subtle. So this guy has capabilities outside of the normal, regulated casting capabilities.
What did he cast? Because I'm looking at him.
He casts detect magic.
Okay.
Basically,
He's looking at me. Oh, he's fucked.
Oh, it's bad. His eyes go completely white, and you know he's like, he blows extra hard. Just he's like, this is not the first time he's looked at
There's
some
a lot of magic
very
around here.
powerful being. You're like, look, but it was also a measure of like
sentient magical items.
exactly. So he's currently blinded, but he's going to currently continue talking for a moment. Of like, I'm going to be straight up with you. The cash is a second thought. We have artillery motives here, and that sounds like a jeopardy on your side. However, the artillery motives is what we see in the possibility of a great future with the Verosian Empire. The money comes second. We will accept the 15. However, we have to be able to teach the children in the ways of magic and other fields outside of it that you've already given us, and we accept that. However, we would like to have free reign to research fields that we desire to be important, outside the influence of the Verosians.
No necromancy.
Subject to review by the Chancellor.
What?
Also, here are our generalized statements regarding intellectual property and ownership of anything that is developed.
As soon as you do that, because he was about to go,
go deal, and then you did that. It's like, ah!
All magical secrets, real or theoretical, unlocked while under the influence.
So he immediately like curls his finger back like he was about to make a deal.
Wow.
Like, look, Rossi has very tight-gripped on all magi alike. We... Uh-oh. Cramp?
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay, see you in a moment, sorry.
I'm not helping because you're not wearing pants.
I know that look. Anyway, so... Oh, I lost my train of thought now, and you got me there. You got me there.
Really, I think I should have a custom feat that is like intimidate via admin.
You're working on that. You're working on that.
So basically,
and how? But I do
basically,
need
they're
to say
gonna run the
this. I do
school.
need to say this. If
we
we
get their side projects, but we get to review what those side projects are.
that we can work with. However, in terms of development and stuff like that, everything that we develop after being reviewed cannot be intellectual property of the school/university. We can cut a deal of the profits, but it can't be 100% yours.
That can be worked out.
Well, the standard agreement is that it's an open source situation, which means that you're able to license it for sale and usage, but it becomes publicly available knowledge.
Interesting.
I like
That's
that.
a different way to do it.
Well, you see, here's the and pulls out like charts with projections of return on
It's
investment.
like you just turn
Here's
around.
where we are. This is the Rusty
And even
Empire.
the magical people are like, wait.
Like the bag is just paperwork.
And a couple of them
at
do
this
like
point.
they do check like what kind of entity you're like. Oh, you're like a fey creature thing. Okay, now that makes sense.
That's why you do all
Yeah, it's like because it's like you didn't cast a
Weird
spell.
bunny,
Yeah,
but-
weird fey
You're just
magic.
a
Okay.
walking contract.
So with that,
I'm also an avatar of the god of eventuality. Like,
I'm gonna say roll 2d8. Whichever d8 is higher is the number of professors you get. Because each individual has their individual goal of why they might stick it out.
That's an 8.
That's an 8.
I can't even see the other one. That one's an 8.
Okay.
4.
The other one's a 4. So
Yeah.
miraculously, all 8 professors stay.
it's because they see the future of an open source.
They do. They see this.
We can research as we see fit.
Yes, they which
Unrestricted.
not really semi-unrestricted.
Because there
But
was that
significantly
one
less than we had
professor,
before.
Linux, it was like,
There's so you have Professor Langrung Deeplit, which is a male gnome. level
Character
12.
ideas
Yeah.
just spinning through
Just
my head.
don't blow up.
You have another
School.
human male, which is both of these are the School of the Abjuration. Is a Professor Baldric Ding. All jokes, he knows them very well.
I bet I can come up with a few more.
Yeah. I mean, Professor Ding is how he represents himself. You got School of the Enchantment times 2. You got a male human, Professor Humphrey Higgledoo. And then you got a female Dragonborn, Red Scales. A little like beefier in terms of like physical capabilities. Lady Nastan Navis. And I'll let you write it down. I'll give you the paper in a moment. In the
Well, I'm
school-
not writing anything down.
Okay.
There,
School of Illusion, you have a male halfling known as Sir Compass Stoutbelly. He's the one that you had to pick out because he got into your wine.
I'll get it from you. I'll get it from you after the game.
Okay. And then you have the School of Evocation with this nice little petite high elf female girl, Professor Selirith. It's an elven name. I'm sorry. Pasai. You got a School of Necromancy. He is the disciple Altwin Blood Ward,
Watch that one.
which is a male human, and then a single tiefling, which is study of the war magic.
The difference between necromancy and healing is mostly about timing.
This is Master
that's fair.
Oziel. Classic military wizard rogues.
Also, like Resurrection, Revivify, technically
And
necromantic
you
spells.
begin to develop a university, as you got all 8 with negotiations of an open licensing.
Oh lord.
Yeah.
It makes research easier.
Yes.
And it means
they
that they're not
accept-
pushed to publish or perish.
They
it's
accept
honestly the
15
best
gold
system
pieces.
from an academic
They
perspective.
accepted 15 gold pieces. And as soon as all of them sign, 3 of them bring out papers of permissions for further study of draconic biology and give it to you. Because they saw your true draconic.
Hell no.
I am not being a nude model for your sculpture class.
One of them is literally please pose for a sculpture.
I said yes to that one. This one, though.
Funny enough, you see the red dragon go, yes! And
Well, that's going to be an inappropriate relationship very shortly.
It's not part of your paperwork.
I just
take me
covered their initial first month.
sorry?
I covered their first month. I took
Yes.
it out of personal fund.
Gotcha.
As well as the side.
We'll talk
bonus.
long-term fees later and stuff like that. The university will be built. They have fabrication, and in terms of magical
good. They can help in
capability,
building homes.
they can build buildings.
Sure.
Good.
Now, if they're building buildings with the resources have to be available. They can build it pretty much instantaneously. Once they have the blueprints, they can do
Just have
so
some
no
of the Titans
problem.
work it out.
And they've rebuilt their school before. This is not the first time.
Have the Titans stretch it out. That's fine.
Exactly. So they can build buildings, but they also
Sorry.
they're not licensed to be contracted constructing working. So if you want them to do more physical building work, they need to be paid for additional time for that stuff later, because that's
We'll organize
takes away
that.
from
School
schooling and
first.
professoring.
Yep.
Well, they have to build the school before they can teach it, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Frank.
Frank.
We just got a necromancer on staff. So if we were to say, hey, do you want to go use this as a research institution while you go wipe it out? That would be an
he's
option.
all about that.
Right.
You don't even have to. He's like, I do not need to be paid. This is a dream job.
Do we want him?
So the issue with Frank is that over the course of a year, he caused desertification of the region. And so we do need to deal with him in some capacity.
And it's been about a month.
We can either handle it ourselves,
Okay.
we can let the necromancer boy go have his fun, or we can try to come to some agreement with Frank. I'll be honest, Frank's been our neighbor for a full month. I don't think there's any recovering that relationship.
You see Frank on top of the pillar, screaming to the world that is currently with his robes.
You will
open.
bow before me!
Yeah, you're in full Egyptian.
I don't know. I kind of like his vibe.
I don't like the fact that I can see his summer
You are like grains of sand amongst my desert!
I
I'm
don't
gonna
like
be
the
honest,
saying
I don't
that
think
Frank-
there's a sausage there. I'm
Frank!
not sure what you're seeing. But
Can it, Frank?
He
No!
just keeps going, and there's deserts.
oh my god, he's totally got a cup mug that says "World's Greatest Mummy."
Oh, you know it. You know it.
I really just want a sphere. I want to force sphere this entire thing just so I can have a giant, oversized
Snow globe. I know.
I want to have a permanent sphere of force
Okay.
around his thing.
So,
So
if
what
it,
did
all
you?
seriousness,
So what did you do for the past 7 years? I made a mummy lord snow globe.
In all seriousness.
And you should see how pissed he gets when you shake it up.
In
No
absolute
seriousness in this table.
I know. In absolute seriousness, we can decide. We can take care of Frank next session, or we can try to cut a deal, and that's really up to him. Frank, you can either play nice or the alternative.
Spanish him.
Lightning, yeah.
Real talk, are we even remotely afraid of Frank or anything that his pyramid represents?
The desertification about in a major metropolitan
no,
area.
I get that. But in terms of, okay, we gotta deal with Frank. Isn't it just oh, are we killing, what does that mean? We gotta go talk to him, we're gonna go kill him, okay.
Dead.
so Frank
Probably not that
wasn't.
simple.
Frank was an issue when he was created because we were just coming off of a serious period of exhaustion, lack of
Yeah.
resources, etc.,
But
etc.
I'm now rested with resources. And
If we went in fresh, I'm pretty sure any 3 of us could do it.
Yeah.
Any
And
one of us would probably be fine.
we always save that for the next time we're missing someone. Flashback to dealing with Frank. Tuesdays with Frank.
but it could
That's our other podcast.
Now there's graffiti.
Our other podcast is Tuesdays with Frank.
No, now there's graffiti when you had just the two of us moment with the
Just the
beholder.
two of us.
Just like the little heart emoji between you and the beholder's name.
Labby
On the side of the freaking Frank's pyramid,
Labby
which is why he's so fucking
All right, let's just get rid of Frank.
Holiday special.
I will move into a pyramid. The kids can have my room. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that gets us back. Council Goodwill. We do still have the problem of we kind of sort of expanded the bounds of our property by summoning a pyramid, but so far they've been pretty understanding about the fact that shit's gonna happen when you have high-level adventurers living in town.
Interestingly enough, in my
demigods?
And they
review
have
of
the
hard current
pace
real
of
estate
that
law,
very quick.
we're totally within our rights.
Okay, cool. Follow-up question regarding Frank and all of that. I still have 7 beans.
Please.
Can we? No. Just no.
Look, they
What
turned
does do
from
again?
screaming mushrooms to treants to a literal fucking pyramid.
Go plant them in Goblin Town.
You said they didn't solve this housing problem.
I say we feed him to the Tarrasque.
That's not a
Not a bad idea, actually.
okay. Really,
That ought to be
I
some
like
interesting
the cut
chaos.
of your jib. I
Okay,
like where
I'm
you're
gonna
going.
let you know some of the effects would be restorative to the creature that it grew inside of.
Would it make things worse?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
How good
There's stat bumping.
is there like a
Oh.
what's the ratio of good to bad of the beans? Is it like a deck of many deaths? Or a deck of illusions?
I don't think that was high enough pitch for the microphone.
Sorry, did the bunch of dogs start barking?
What's the ratio of good to bad of these beans that you can put out?
Todd doesn't know.
For player knowledge, what's the
Right.
ratio we're looking
I
for
don't
here?
I'm pulling them up because I know.
Because I'm thinking it's more on the lines of like a deck of many
Mega
deaths.
beans.
I just want to see the Lobby Quicks and Frank holiday special.
There is one
So,
third.
for example,
Tempt me.
There's a third of that
there
deck
are
of cards.
things where like it increases your lowest of ability score.
Ouch.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. There are ones where you get randomly determined magic potions, and you don't find out what the potions do until ingested.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. That would be a scary one to have happen inside of a Tarrasque. Oh no, it enlarged!
Oh god!
Just to
Wait,
throw
no,
out
it
a
suffocates!
real
It's
possible.
it suffocates!
Oh my god.
I have this random containment of jet fuel.
Great
made
cube
of
block.
fire.
It crushes in on itself. It becomes an anomaly.
On the other hand, shrink.
There are things that would be fairly neutral inside of a Tarrasque.
Like
For
a mummy
example,
pyramid.
Trian.
a campfire with blue flames springs forth and burns for 24 hours or until it's extinguished. So that
just
would be
without.
inside of a Tarrasque. Like, that would be nothing.
So that when you get eaten, so that you have a place to, chill out, I guess, inside of the stomach.
Alright, well,
There are things where, like, an animate immobile
Alright.
stone statue and your likeness rises. It makes verbal threats against you. If you leave it and others come near, it describes you as a horrible villain. Like, I don't know what happens when a Tarrasque in that
Can I get
situation.
one of that one? Because I think that'd be hilarious.
I feel like I could make you that statue, but I can't guarantee it from
Alright.
the bag of beans.
are we agreeing that now that we've got these schools started, should we figure out how we're stepping away to go to Verdun?
We need to go to Gerdun to get that egg.
So I'm going to just do this as the ending note, as, let's just say, at least, who's going to join this adventure?
What, to get the egg?
What adventure?
Get the egg.
Gardun to the egg.
Yes.
So, whole party?
Yeah,
Yeah, why
that's a
not?
whole party thing. Because we know that's where the Tarrasque egg is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole party thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this.
The only question I have is, would Quinn tell Todd to?
to come along?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have very
Okay,
useful
then
skills.
yes, I would go.
Because
Okay.
it's a thing and you steal things.
So how do you go? Are you
I
going?
don't think I can steal that thing from a
Let's go back to Bart's
I believe in you.
Okay, that's nice.
Take that zip line. Lift it out of it. You are
The
playing
thing is
so
like 15 feet
Okay.
around, 20 feet
So-
around.
I struggled to move.
How are you going? Are you taking your dreadnought and just power driving through, or are you taking Armada? What are you doing? Are you going
Take
full
one of the
stealth?
smaller
Mission
ships.
Impossible?
They have teleportation circles. We could just teleport there.
Have you saw one?
Oh.
I don't know. Have
No, wait.
they in this
Not
realm?
We
DM?
definitely have teleported. I know they have.
I definitely
they have
haven't.
sky ships.
There was the pastry
They have. They
place.
do
They
have. There's are places that have
Let's just take,
teleportation.
take a ship
circle.
over there and sky, and just dock on it because we need to find a way
Yeah,
to
we'll
offload
take
that
one
thing
of the
too.
smaller, faster ships.
Yeah, it needs to be able to carry a big egg.
They are not faster, but they are smaller.
Okay. We're not looking to be a war party, but we might be evacuating things.
That's
I remember there
How
was
far
the,
away
there was
is
the
it in
flight box
hours?
there.
Hours. Your vessel
About
can
a
do
day or
that.
two?
Do so in about.
It's about 2 days.
I think it's about
3
it's
days?
gonna take days.
It's like 300-400 miles.
It's days.
It's like 500 and something miles.
Yeah, it took us originally 2 weeks airship wise.
Yeah.
Really? It took me a day, so.
Okay,
the
Miss
super-
Sonic Boom.
No, there was a mana storm that made us teleport.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I remember that. Oh no.
Also, Todd has never made this trip.
In specific, I remember
about
this.
500 miles.
A cleric of the of
storm.
Oh yeah, it was the divine intervention.
It was a
thing.
divine intervention.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I was lucky
he was
for
the follower of Mulios, the god of change. Just changed the position.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
suddenly 200 miles further.
The lie,
What?
the
lot
thing you
more than
didn't
that.
know is that he didn't change position.
But like,
of you.
only
He just
two
worked the planet
dudes who
underneath.
are here made that trip.
Jesus.
Only 2 dudes who are here made that trip.
Yeah, it's about 500 miles. Takes about 3 to 5 days.
Because it is a teleportation circle, but neither of you
We
have
need a
seen
way
it.
to move the egg.
And it's in the shop that makes the potions into like
Pastries.
Pastries, yeah.
It was the pastry shop. I was in the pastry shop.
But you didn't. Do you know teleportation circle?
I
Here's the thing.
I ate 4 of them while I was there.
Here's the
Did you
thing.
eat 4
Here's the
teleportation
thing.
circles?
Is that why you shit in 5
They were
different
called
dimensions?
they were called teleportation circles, and they were pastries that were in circles.
No.
They were donuts. They were teleportation circles, and they would disappear.
Yeah, it's called a kid's gimmick.
All right. Well,
Very
I
sweet,
felt
and I liked it a lot. I
Yeah.
thought that was great, David.
We need to
The diplomat
get together.
is somebody who we should talk to if there is a teleportation consideration that we're trying to achieve.
That is
We
true.
need to get the egg, secure the egg.
Nicholas
but also think
beams
about-
that information into all of your head because Todd still hasn't met the diplomat, but I don't want to chase you guys down across
Right,
3
right.
days worth of travel time. So Nicholas beamed that into your brains. I'm
Meta pigeon.
Are we planning to evacuate people? Do we think we need to be a legitimate option?
so from
We'll talk about
Todd's
that on the trip.
perspective, they're gonna teleport there
Okay.
and do stuff. Todd is gonna go check in with Nicholas as has been requested, and I'm like, this is my nearest lull point while they're getting there and sorting things out.
Fair enough.
With a tracking of time on the material plane as
and
well as I
checking up
can.
on the and checking up on the. You're also going to get a download on your promotion and also
Yeah.
the current research and development that is currently happening with the local lich that just got delivered.
Sure.
Uh,
So there's all that, and then I also have an item that is a tuning that has a different thing that may become relevant when I'm doing interplanar travel.
yes.
So I'm just calling out, I'm going to be doing all that mainly so that way we all know what resources are.
Yeah,
Because right now
so-
I don't know what the fuck my resources are from that
Y'all
perspective.
teleport over there with a flash of light. You know how to get to Gadrun. You can
So,
research
how would
capabilities.
who's teleporting?
We didn't
The
say we were going to
diplomat.
teleport.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, because we still need to figure out. We need to get the egg out of there somehow.
Which will be easier
I'm gonna do this
through
way.
a teleportation circle.
Are we just teleporting the egg? Can we do that?
Sorry, I found a list of a bunch of amusing magic shop names. Blink, Blight, and Beyond.
I like that.
Okay, we teleport there.
It's the bloodbath to be honest.
We need to then convince them to give us the egg. We have the ability to do that. Or just buy the egg. If we teleport it back, do we really want to just bring the egg into the middle of the city? We know when it would hatch, but do we even want to bring that possibility?
We certainly don't want to bring it back here. We need to figure out where to go.
Yeah. That's what we're
So-
planning.
Stick it in
During
Nicholas's
this
drawer.
conversation, you most likely take your airship. You get to Gardoon. You've had multiple airship combats to get there, and you're sitting in the forest chambers in the literally chain dangling platforms that are above the active internal volcano belly to gather the heat for the majority of the city and the forging district. The location that you gave to the egg / geode for that armor that you're wearing. And you notice that the chains have been severed from that entire platform, and it's completely missing, including the egg, as you found out that there was apparently a death doomed satanic cultist that were trying to bring the end of old civilization with one giant, the end of all. The great consumer must see it.
Oh my god, the cultists.
Yeah,
Wait.
cultists.
So yes, the egg fell in with it.
Oh yeah.
Of course it did.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you're looking at this boiling lava with a segment of the forging district completely gone. Just,
We need to evacuate the entirety of this mountain.
yeah.
So the egg is inside. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's already incubated. Oh.
We need to evacuate the entirety of this mountain.
Yes, we do.
So we stop there as you guys are just looking over the edge. Or
Just
boiling-
look at.
like,
Well, shit.
We need to evacuate the entirety of this mountain. That's a lot of people.
as the rest of the people are
Flash
like,
forward. My esteemed countrymen, I come to you again with news of refugees.
meanwhile, go down to the city of Dwarves. Meanwhile, the city of Tarrasque, who the fuck let me pointy ears into this place? Get him out!
Oh,
Let
no,
me
I
smell that
was
beer!
the fucking Harkern.
Oh, Harkern.
All the
I
dwarves.
thought you were standing in front of the nobles of the of Galdoon.
No,
the
he was
Northern
talking
city.
about yeah, he was back in front of Hardcore.
Champion of immigration.
We have 14,000 dwarves.
Immigration reform.
We have going! We have you going!
No, Brian, new title for Quinn, Champion of Immigration.
I love
Todd
that.
shows up with a new presentation. So let's talk about border reform.
Yeah, that would be the.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Do you even want to know the population density of Galdoon?
We'll find out.
It's
We'll
a
find out next
stacked
time.
city.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of
It's
a
a
moot point
stacked
at this
city.
point. It's only going to decrease after that.
Oh,
No matter
God.
how dense the population gets, it's gonna get at least half in 10
Look,
years.
I'm just
5
saying,
years.
blow up the volcano in the city inside. It solves the unemployment rate. It brings everything to zero. So.
It breaks a lot of zeros.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna end there. Till next time, everyone. Stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on rolling, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
We're so fucked.
You think you're the only one acting on future knowledge?
I'm well aware of that.
Oh.
I cannot help but notice the world is not the same as when we all got started, and we know who's to blame. No turning back now to try to be insane. For what's beyond the veil, too vivid to explain. Faceless behemoths haunt my dreams, seeking to steal my sanity. I will not stand down, won't back away, as long as you're with me. Together we roll, together we roll. I'll fight for you, will you fight for me? Together we roll, together we roll. I'll protect you, just as long as you stand with me. Together we roll. The gods look down on us, we're just a game to them. Eldritch monstrosities at their unholy whim. But we will stand up, we'll shout a battle cry. The future beckons us and we'll stand unified. There's something coming and it's coming fast. We won't be frightened by the dead hand of the past. We are the warriors with sword in hand, and here we make a stand. Together we roll, together we roll. I'll fight for you, will you fight for me? Together we roll, together we roll. I'll protect you, just for you.